Two brothers who were heavily implicated in the massive ongoing state capture investigation in the country have been arrested. Now, alleged corruption kingpin brothers Atul and Rajesh Gupta were taken into custody in the United Arab Emirates last night, months after local authorities turned to Interpol for help. The men are wanted in connection with a multi-million rand investment fraud and money laundering case, but have also been fingered in the 3-year-long state capture mission.
Last night, South Africa's Ministry of Justice and Correctional Services confirmed that the brothers had been arrested in the United Arab Emirates. Now, joining us in the studio this morning is journalist and editor Dr. Candice Bailey to give us more on this story. Good morning, Candice. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, team.
Now, let's talk about why this is such an important arrest. The Gupta brothers, a lot of people may not even know who they are. So, brief us, why this is very, very important.
Indeed, a very important arrest for South Africa and an important arrest for our state capture, the developments in our state capture commission. So what you may know, we have reported on it on News Central before, but South Africa's been running a state capture commission for about 3 years now. And the Gupta brothers, Atul and Rajesh, are probably at the heart of the State Capture Commission. And the State Capture Commission has laid bare about 250 billion rand that was stolen out of state coffers over a significant period of time. And they were really at the heart of this. They were looting from the state coffers. They used their political connections, particularly connections with our former president, Jacob Zuma. And they used these connections to sort of hire and fire, to influence decision-making within cabinet, within the government, and to make sure that they were able to get their way and get as much money out of our state. And so this arrest in Dubai last night is actually quite significant for the State Capture Commission. There have been several other arrests over the past few weeks, which we have seen, but this is seriously one of the arrests that South Africans have been waiting for. The Guptas have been on the run from South Africa for about 3 years now. In fact, last year, an extradition treaty was signed in 2018, and last year South African authorities went to Interpol and issued red notices for the Guptas asking for help, and it's taken them up to a year to get this arrest in motion. So this is quite a significant moment for for authorities in Cape Town, in South Africa. Sorry.
What can we say what made it easy for the Gupta brothers to get away in the first place, and what would you say has been the reaction to the arrests in South Africa?
So on your first question, in terms of what made it easy for them, I think that they were just significantly politically connected. I mean, during our State Capture Commission, we heard stories of how senior ANC politicians were calling our big banks, saying that, threatening them if their bank accounts were closed. So these are the type of political connections that the Guptas had. They were able to influence decision makers and to make them do things that they needed them to do. And I think that through that, they were then able to leave the country and escape to a country where they were not able to be pulled out, where they were not able to be brought back. And that's what really made it easy for them to escape prosecution in South Africa. In terms of the reaction of what's happened in South Africa, we are seeing various people, corruption busters, coming out saying that this is a really good sign for accountability in our country. It's a really good sign for showing ordinary South Africans that the State Capture Commission was not just, a toothless hound, and that there is really action being taken against people who were fingered in the State Capture Commission. So I think that it's a good news story for South Africa, for the fight against corruption in South Africa. And that's what really is coming out this morning in terms of the reaction.
All right, so quickly share with us, what would be the next steps now that they have been arrested?
So I think that now that the arrest has taken place, we'll obviously need to go into extradition proceedings, and that could take quite a while. What we understand in South Africa this morning is that there is a high-profile security cluster meeting that's taking place in South Africa to discuss the next steps, and that South African authorities are in discussion with authorities in Dubai about this extradition and how it can take place and what can happen. I mean, we've seen in cases in South Africa, between South Africa and Mozambique, where extradition takes up to a year or two. So it might still be a long road to go, but it looks like we are starting the process now. We're on the first steps.
All right. Would you say, or how does this affect the case against Jacob Zuma, do you think that this would directly impact it?
I do think that it will have an impact on the Jacob Zuma case. Well, currently Jacob Zuma's case in the case that he's currently standing for in court, the corruption case, is not linked to the Guptas. It's linked to a previous corruption allegation around the arms deal. So in terms of that instance, it should not affect that case at all. But in terms of the allegations or the call for more investigations to be run into President Jacob Zuma, or former President Jacob Zuma, pardon me, this might strengthen it if they are able to secure a conviction from the Guptas. It might strengthen the need for further investigations into the former president and his role in the state capture.
Pretty interesting, because as we are having this discussion, President Cyril Ramaphosa is also screaming that he is not corrupt. So let's see how South Africa's fight against corruption goes, and would definitely love to speak with you again about things like this. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, and have a very brilliant Tuesday.
You too. Thank you so much.
Okay.